Hello world, I am What If Study, and today we are doing What If Deku Was Cursed to Toga, Season 2, Part 2. Deku, now knowing that, now with Toga, on the helicopter flight back, of course they do the devil's dance, and Tom shamefully has to airdrop them into their own house. However, he knows that Deku is basically a god by this point, and has, proven himself as the symbol of peace before. So he drops him straight into the house, which then they collapse straight through the ceiling. Tom just starts leaving, tells Night Eye that he dropped him off, and Night Eye makes sure that he treats them well. He's like, oh, trust me, they occupied each other. He's like, oh, you poor man, Tom, I'm sorry. He's like, don't worry. Let's just hope it won't happen again. And trust me, guys, it will happen again. So, Deku and Toga continue the Devil's Dance until finally Deku realizes, where am I? As he suddenly wakes up from, sleeping in her house, and finally comes up and realizes, oh shit, he's going to be late if he takes, if he can take 5 more minutes, and then he has to leave for the aliens and shit for their next hit. As he starts to get up, Toga's like, oh, I never gave you a tour. Sorry. You must be so confused where you are. He's like, not really, Toga. I mean, this is our house. This is our apartment, right? She starts showing him around the whole place. How she had decorated everything in cutesy ways. She hangs on to his arm and tugs him around as hard as she can while doing that. Deku had been healed by the grandma, and as Deku leaves, forcefully removes himself from the room as Toga wasn't watching, and then he's like, that dirty bitch, he got away! God damn it, I was gonna show him everything. Whatever, he's got a duty, whatever. He'll do it. I don't care. First thing that he needs is space. That's one thing I know. As Deku continues going throughout the whole place, he looks around all of UA as it starts to come back to him, all of his memories here, and all of the friends that, he almost killed. Everybody. And as the rest of the whole UA Academy comes together to see Deku again, as there's some mixed feelings in the crowd, clearly, Deku says, I came here to repent, guys. I'm not here for anything else, alright? I'll be out of your hair in no time. However, Mirko comes out, the bunny woman, says, don't worry about it. Hi, I'm Mirko. He says, oh, hi. Were you the one that... Yeah, the one that you ripped off her leg. Sorry. Yeah, that was... I don't even know how to say sorry. I shouldn't be. She says, no, you seem like a fine young man. I just needed to hear that. Thank you. And she says, yeah, of course, anytime. If you want to scream at me, please, here's my phone number. Toga, I smell something. She's like, what is he doing down there? So basically, Deku continues on his tour throughout the rest of the academy, trying to stay out of the limelight. However, he bumps into All Might. And All Might's like, young Deku, hello, people tell me that something happened back then when I got knocked out, but could you tell me, please? They won't tell me anything. He says, what do you mean? They didn't tell you? As, fucking 1 in a million guy comes out from the corner and is like, All Might, come back. Stop asking him any weird questions. Oh, Deku. As suddenly Deku comes eye to eye with 1 in a million. Deku starts off the conversation saying, listen, I only came here to say it, and I know you don't want to hear it. Why wouldn't I want to accept the apologies from the guy that broke both of my arms? You took my wrist and you flung it backwards, splitting it in half. Then you did the same to the other one as I tried to punch you. Do you think I'm really going to accept your apology? Deku's like, you can kill me in your revenge, I don't care. As long as I clear it up, I don't... Then you're completely right. I do forgive you. He's like, what? Like that? That's it? He's like, heroes are not ones to keep, keep revenge. Alright? I moved on a long time ago. I've gotten much better with my other body parts and using it. And I've become not exactly the hero I was supposed to be, but the hero that I feel I've made the best of myself to be. Kid, if anything, you help me. He says, oh, holy shit, yeah, that's great. He's like, I know, right? Well, not to introduce you to everybody else. He reintroduces him to, all of Toga's friends. And Toga finally catches up with Deku and starts introducing Deku back to everybody. They take it kind of harshly, especially Mineta. And then after all of the repenting, Deku finally feels like he's had this hole in his heart sort of repaired. Like they forgive him somehow. However, the ones that won't forgive him, unfortunately, he goes to their graves. Oh, Jiro. God damn it. Ugh. He was my friend since we were children, Aizawa suddenly shows up at the the gravestones, saying, well, there you are, kid. I had heard that you were revived, but I didn't believe it until I saw it. Aizawa, you're here. Don't rattle my bones too hard with your shouts, okay? I'm not here to scream at you. I came here to pay my respects. As he bends down to the grave of Miss Joy. You were right. Yeah, love was silly. As Deku's like, how'd she die? He says, how do you think? Check the date. As he looks at it and it says 2 years ago. On that exact day. He says, Aizawa, as he turns around, Aizawa's gone. Clearly, he doesn't even want to talk about it at all with Deku. He seemed to be fine when we were talking, but now he's gone. As, Toga says, he took it much harsher than everybody else. I don't think he really wants to see you right now. I'm sorry. As Deku says, that's fine. I'm not going to be the hero that everybody wants me to be, but I will be the type of hero that they need me to be. As he looks down to his wrist, he sees the next bounty hunt position targeted in the underground. He'll have to be fully submerged for this. He goes into the committee, to the ruler of all of it, the mouse guy, whose scar has seemed to get even bigger since last time. He says, I need to go into the underground. He said, the mouse guy's like, why would you need to do that? He says, well, you see, there's some villains that got away from me a long, long time ago. Oh, I see. And you're here to repent for that? Yes, I would like to hunt them down once more. I know that they're still there. They have to be. As, the mouse guy's like, oh, we can send some people with you. He's like, I'd rather not. I might have to kill them. He's like, oh, I see. And if somebody sees you kill again, well, they might just think you're going back to your old ways. Very good. Whatever. We'll send you in with a craft. We'll give you as much equipment as you need, and be sure to enjoy the ride down. As then Deku is sent down to the depths of the hero agency. He finds the drill and starts his descent down into the lurking depths. Once he barely even hits 200 feet under, it opens up as suddenly a freaking gartering man, a gigantic, ginormous, monster of a man rips through the hull of it. blasting the upper side of it. The other side stops working as suddenly as all the dirt starts to cloud onto Deku. However, Deku punches the dirt as hard as he can, sending it up in the air. However, it starts to come skyrocketing back down as he jumps up into the hole that was made by the mole man. He starts running down in the same direction as this mole. As it continues to dig as fast as it can, Deku chases it down faster and faster and faster until he kicks through the back end of it into a machine. What? He thought that this was a living thing. It just seems to be a gigantic mouse with, mole rat skin tagged onto around a digger, some sort of underground digger. What the fuck is this? As he looks around, then the crew starts firing on him. He lifts up his right hand, being able to stop all the bullets on his right, as he just charges straight after them, bashing his elbow straight into one, blasting him over, and then knocking him out on a lead pipe. As Deku then takes the gun that he had and bashes it into the guy's face that was next to him. He drops both of the guns, and the guys were both knocked out. He made sure of it. As he goes down to the lower levels where the command room was, he first has to go through the engine room, which then he tears into it, smashing his arm into it. However, the engineer started to come after him. With only one arm to defend himself, to use for it, he crept around it, spinning around in a circle as they started firing at him. As they tried to go around in a circle with him, he kept on going around, making them miss all their shots until he had completely destroyed every single engine. And then he picks up a piece of the engine, ripping it out, and then throws it towards them. And it hits all of their stomachs as it sits them down to the ground, anchoring them down. They're unable to move, at least. As he walks out with all those men pinned down to the ground, the Mole Man, one of the newest villains, says, "So you defeated my crew and you think you're done then, huh?" He says, "No, they shot me a few times. I'll die in a few hours if I don't get any medical attention." He's like, you don't really know how to be a hero, do you?" He's like, "I'm kind of rusty." And the guy's like, "I hear ya. Anyways, have to kill you now." He's like, "Yeah, I assume so." As he takes out his spinny kind of robot hand that tries to punch at Deku. However, Deku turns to the right and then punches back. However, the Mole Man is much shorter than he had assumed, as the Mole Man has robotic legs too, able to jump up and down as he dodges under his arm and then bashes him in the stomach with the super hydraulic punch from the Mole Man. This stuns Deku and temporarily takes the wind out of his stomach. Deku continues his fight with the Mole Man until he almost trips off the edge, and then Toga comes out of nowhere and slices into the back of the Mole Man. Deku was unable to use violent forces while he was losing. Toga explains and says, "Let me just finish this off." As Deku's like, "We don't want to kill him now, do we?" She's like, "Oh, come on. You think I've been really slacking over all these years?" As she throws the knife as fast as she can, ripping it out of his back and throws it at his face. However, Mole Man dodges under it, and then Deku grabs onto his neck and then thrusts him against the ground that was grinded into his face, and then he sufficiently pins him to the ground and then punches him, knocking him out fully. Deku says, "We're not killing him, Toga. I still have to use him for the bounty." As he grips onto the Mole Man's chest, he hits onto the thing on his arm, and then they start to triangulate him to come up, to warp him up into the ship. Once he appears back into the ship, he throws the Mole Man's blood eviscerated face on the ground. They're like, "Very good, very good. We'll send you your next target in a few days. For now, you can stay with Toga." Plebeian, as they teleport him back down to Earth, where him and Toga were. He waits on the couch until Toga comes out, with dirt all over her hair, and she's like, "You left me underground." He's like, I kind of was teleported by aliens. She's like, you could have just told me. God damn it, Deku. As she, starts bashing on his chest at full force, but she knows that he's basically invulnerable. Deku had been punched super hard in the stomach, though, as her, riotous punches hit him in the stomach. He's like, ooh, now you're doing some damage. She's like, shut up. I know you're just patronizing me. He's like, oh, come on now. I'm not into punches or anything, but you're gonna make me act up now. I have 2 days to spend with you now. You know what that means. She says, oh, I know. Murdering time. He's like, no. Sexy time. She's like, oh yeah, that too, definitely, that too. I am very happy for that. She starts she was like sitting on the ground basically from being thrown off of Deku. She was just like, she was kind of like a dog. How she was like, yes, please, that too. And he was like, actually, I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I might just want to go to bed. She's like, no, you don't. As she jumps straight onto him like a vampire. She rolls around with him. And that'll end this episode. Thank you so much for watching. This was part 2 of season 2. I'll be sure to get you a part 3 by tomorrow. And be sure to watch that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.